I'm getting ready to show you how to be in complete control with your analysis of Bitcoin price through July 5th, which is Tuesday. I'm going to show you from exact points how to draw a line. If it's above this, good. If it's below this, bad. It's going to be very simple, and you're going to feel extremely in control over the weekend if you walk through this with me. So let's get these charts. You don't have to set up a nice sexy channel like mine. You come to my channel and hit the thumbs up every video because of my sexy charts. I have the sexiest channels in all of crypto. However, what you are going to want to do is draw a line at the points where I have labeled. And just one thing to remember, the 69K top, the line that you start is just a wee bit below the actual 69K top. All you do is connect these points and drag it past current price. Okay, so I have a line here that I'm dragging, even though you can barely see the damn thing. I will make that big and bold. So you don't have to have this whole thing going on like I have the channel. Just draw a line like this. This is the line you're going to need. It's going to be essentially one of the columns of support or the biggest things that we're going to cover here. So pause this video and create that same line. Have it labeled where it touches. May 12th. December 27th, and the 69K top with just a little bit under it, and you'll see it once you connect the other 2 points. Or you can just connect the other 2 points and have it run a little bit through the 69K top. That is step one. Step two is you're going to use what is called the MTF EMA, and you're going to want, it's an indicator. You want to find this. So I will go up to indicators and start typing in MTF. Don't hit the SMA, hit the EMA. And once you click that, it's going to be over here somewhere. Once you see it pop up, hit the wheel, turn it on to the 4-hour 10. And I guess you can make it red or whatever you want, but you just make it a certain color. And I would suggest making it a thicker line by clicking the red. And see down here, I can change the thickness of it. I'm changing the thickness, and there we go. Ladies, stop dreaming. You can't just change the thickness outside of Tradingview. So let's go ahead and zoom in here and see what we have, what monster we have created. I'm telling you, this is going to be unbelievably simple, and it's going to work. That line that I had you create, or that you will be creating after you pause this video and go back and you've hit the like button and you've subscribed if you're new, and hit the all alerts button, because I'm going to show you simple ways to stay in control with your TA over key points of Bitcoin price action. Here is that's the line. If price touches the line that you drew, the next thing that you look for is to see how price interacts with that MTF EMA, the 4-hour 10. You can go to the 5-minute chart. That MTF EMA will keep the 4-hour 10 on there. If price touches that line, it's likely going to come back down to that red EMA and go below it. I would not be bullish just because price is attracted to here. It's going to it's just going to be attracted, but it's going to break down below that red line. That makes sense? And things will remain bullish. If price can get to this line, it's likely going to come back down, but it does have a chance to use that red line as support. Let me show you a quick price path of what that would look like here. And I'm going to extend this red line a little bit. And it would actually tick up a little bit. Down, something to that effect. So I will make this red, and I'll make price a green price path. Make it green, and let me show you. Let me show you what we got. It could come up here, and it could use this potentially as support, potentially. And if it starts breaking above, if that happens, if it's used as support, I think the probabilities of short-term time frame upside, it gets close to 50-50, but it's under 50-50 until two things happen. It gets back above the line I had you draw, and not necessarily uses as support. That would be like a third thing to essentially confirm with even higher probabilities, but get back above that line you drew and get back above the local high that was formed from the first time it touched it. Because if it touches it once over here and then touches this red line, with time, that line goes down. It's descending. So it would make a lower high if it just touches it again. Does that make sense? Therefore, your probabilities of very short-term time frame stuff start flipping in favor of a little bit of bullishness if it touches this line that you drew, uses the red line 4-hour 10 EMA as support, and then gets back above that local high like this. I think the probabilities for very short-term time frames, I think they flip bullish even before this is truly used as support. I think it's more about that local high being broken again. Am I making sense here? But I think that there, look at me now. I know my charts are really nice looking, but listen, I don't think that's the most probable scenario to happen. But if it does happen, that's when the probabilities flip. So that's it. And does that mean it'll have a shelf life of 5 days? We're going to have 5 green candles because we have 6 red ones in a row. No, it could be just the next 12-hour candles green. It might only have a shelf life of 12 hours. These are very small time frames. But it could have a shelf life of 2 weeks. But it's going to have a shelf life of probably a half a day, maybe 2 days. The shelf life will be pretty measurable if that were to happen and play out. Okay? Until that happens, though, things are bearish. Things are more statistically likely to remain bearish if price stays relatively under this red line. It's even a higher probability that things remain bearish. If it touches this, well, things are still bearish, but not with such strong probabilities. That makes sense? So every step to that path that I just showed you, it chips away at the bearish probabilities a little bit, but it doesn't flip them until what I showed you happens. And it's not just going to race up like it did back here around the quarter, or back here around the quarterly close. This was just, it's just pure whales messing around with the charts. Again, I don't know what their incentives were for this. I don't know what that was. I would not anticipate that happening because the 6-month candle and quarterly candle close might have had to do with futures, or not futures, but options expiring. However, and you can see price just went above this red line. And now we can look, is it going to start using it as support? And if it breaks right through and then charges up again, it's statistically likely that the next little deal up is going to be a lower high. It's statistically probable. But regardless, the main idea is probabilities don't flip bullish for the micro and short-term time frames until what I showed you just happened. And until that happens, price pressure of price is down. Pressure on price is pushing it down until then. And go ahead and make sure that you click this video right here. If you're trying to piss around with making money in futures, I give you some tips in futures trading that you cannot find anywhere else. And click this video right here if you want to know why Bitcoin could really hit 14,000 bucks before the end of July. It's a real scenario that has probably a 30% chance of playing out, perhaps only 20, but it's statistically significant. You just got Timified worldwide.